Hey everyone, welcome to the Branding Teacher, the place for entrepreneurs and small business owners to learn how to brand and market their business. I'm Scott Burgess, and today I'm going to be helping you figure out what to name your business in 3 easy steps. These are the same 3 steps I took when naming the Branding Teacher. So let's get into it. So you are getting ready to launch your business, but you haven't started any branding or marketing. You've got your sales channel set up, you know what you're doing, you know how you're going to do it, but you don't know what to name your business. Now, before you start any marketing or branding, you need to figure out your name. It's the most important aspect of your branding, and remember, branding is the most important aspect of marketing because it's how people perceive you and it can make or break potential clients. So it's very important for you to take your time and do it right. Your name needs to be catchy, unique, relate to what you're doing, and easily be recognizable or be remembered by your customers. So you need to take all that into consideration as you're developing this brand name. Now, it can be stressful to figure this out. You might not have the creative juices to really brainstorm or really come up with ideas. You might be like, oh my God, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done this in my life. What are people going to think? How is this going to work? What if people don't like the name? And these are all things that are going to be going through your head, and it's your inner saboteur. Your name is your name. It's okay if you get it wrong. Later on, you could always change it. Now, that will be a more intensive process to rebrand it and reteach your customers and everything your new name, but it does happen as your business model changes. Or if you're seeing, hey, people in the market aren't reacting well to my name, so it's okay if you don't get it right the first time, but I do recommend putting the time and energy into it and try to get it as close as possible to what you want. So lucky for you, you can do this in a few short hours, and I promise it's just a few short hours. I was able to do the Brand Teacher probably in about 2 or 3 hours from the sitting down and saying, hey, this is what I want to do, to this is the name of my company. And you can do this in just 3 easy steps. So the first step is just market research. Now, you don't need to go out and hire an expensive market research firm to do this for you. You can actually do it yourself, and all you need is Google and social media. That's right. Using these 2 things, you can figure out everything you need to know around your competitors and your name and really come up with something great. So at this point in launching your business, I would assume that you already know who your competitors are. And if you have that, great. Then you can actually go ahead and probably skip this step and move on to step number 2. Now, if you don't know who your competitors are or really are struggling to see what people in your industry are calling their businesses, then that's where you really need to utilize Google and start doing searches. Start Googling keywords that relate to your industry and what you do. For example, for the Branding Teacher, I was Googling online courses for branding. How do I name my business? How do I brand my business? How do I make logos? Anything that really relates to branding, I was Googling and seeing what organizations, what companies out there do what I do. Who is doing this on social media? Who is doing this on YouTube? Who is creating online courses on all these great online course platforms? And that's really how I tried to figure out my name. I know it's very tempting to just try to duplicate what other people are doing and change it up a little bit. That way you think you're doing something that's working. If it's working for them, it's going to work for you, right? And no, that is not the case. You need to be you. You need to be unique and be yourself. You don't need to be like all the other competitors. You want to be the one person that people are coming for in your industry. So as you're doing all this research, start writing down all your competitors. Sometimes it might be a very short list of 3 to 5. Other times it might be long, like 10 to 20. If you're doing something more regional or national or local, that's going to play into your name as well. Small businesses might have very similar names in different cities, and that's okay. So that's really market research. Go through, look through Google, look through social media, and draw some inspiration and make a list. And once you've done that, you can move on to step number 2. Now, step number 2 is the most difficult part of this whole process. You really need to brainstorm a lot of ideas. I recommend brainstorming between 5 and 10 names as your basis. Now, this is really where you need to get your creative juices flowing. Now, look inward at your business. Look through your entire business model. Is there anything you're saying that really stands out or you can pull from to draw inspiration from? So for example, the branding teacher. I'm all about branding. I'm not doing email campaigns. I'm not doing marketing campaigns. I'm strictly focusing on brand building and building brands. So branding, I think, should be a part of my name. The other half of my business is really focused on teaching other people how to do branding. So in my mind, I need to have something that has branding in it and another word that relates to teaching or making things happen or some sort of thing like that. Now, I made a pretty extensive list of names. I came up with ideas like the branding professor, the branding guru, the branding nurturer, the brand nurturer, the branding whisperer, the branding magician. The list goes on and on and on. And then the branding teacher popped in my mind. Now, the branding teacher wasn't at the top of this brainstorm list. This idea was actually one of the final ideas I came up with. Also ask your significant others, your friends, your family, your colleagues, former colleagues, whoever you want to ask for ideas, because the more creativity and the more minds you have, the more ideas you're going to come up with. So don't be afraid to ask them. Don't be afraid to run ideas by them. They might give you some feedback you might like. They also might give you some feedback that's going to be critical that you're not going to like. So run all those ideas by them. Now that you've got all the market research done, you've got a list of 5 to 10 ideas. The final step is to check availability. And what does this mean? There's 3 different places you need to check to make sure that one of your names is going to work. So you should take your top idea. What is the number 1 name you love? It's your favorite, and you need to see if that domain is available. Go to GoDaddy.com. You can do a free search for domains and see if it's available. If it's taken, it'll tell you it's taken. If it's available for purchase, you can purchase it. If someone has it, but it's expiring or renewing, you can enter an auction. So there's so many different ways to get the domain that you want. Typically, domains cost about $20. Now, if you have a domain that's more popular or someone already owns or there's more traffic to, it might cost a lot more money. You just really need to check and see what's available. If your domain is not available, get creative. Add a dash here. Take away a word. Maybe instead of .com, you do .agency or .tv or whatever ending to the URL you can use, you can do that. I will personally say that I prefer .coms. More people are aware of that and understand what .com is versus .agency or .tv. They might get a little confused, but typically your .com is going to be available. Now, as you're going through your entire list, start checking off the ones that aren't available or are available. Make notes to your list and then move on to the next step, which is social media. You want to check and see what social media handles are available. Go to Twitter, go to Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever social media platform you need to be on for your business and see if that handle is available. In my case, the branding teacher was available. Perfect. My domain is available and my social media handles are available. That seems to be the winner. And a lot of times you're going to find that someone might actually have your handle and they will have 0 posts and 0 followers, 0 activity. They just have the handle. If you are really stuck on that name, you can message them and see if they will give up their handle. They might charge you a premium price for it, but hey, everything's negotiable. If they're not actively using it, go for it, ask them about it. I definitely think it's easier if you don't have to go that route, and hopefully your handle will be available. You might need to get creative with these handles. Maybe you need to add in your city to the end of it, or maybe you need to add in the state to the end of it. So maybe if, say, there was already the branding teacher taken, I might do the branding teacher Florida because I'm based in Florida. So just get creative there and see what is available. So you're going to be going through and matching up your domains and your social media handles from your list of names. Once you've gone through that, there's one final thing you need to check, and that's just LLC availability. So if you're going to plan on registering your business in your state, which I recommend you do, you can go to your state website and see if there's any LLCs with that name already available. You can do free searches online. It's pretty easy. Once you've done these 3 steps and you've been going through that 5 to 10 name list and you've been checking off ones that aren't available, ones that you like, that's when it's time to sit down and really figure out, hey, what works best with my business? Which one of these do I think should I use? Once again, go ask your friends and family if they like it and let it sit for a few days. You don't need to immediately hop on and name your business. Let it sit, let it simmer. Come back in a few days and see if you like it. If you do, then that's it. You have your name. Now, go ahead and buy that domain and go ahead and claim those social media handles before someone else does. because I would hate for you to go ahead and launch your entire brand and then your website is not available or your social media is not available. That's gonna be a whole heck of a lot of work in order to fix. Hopefully you've been able to learn how to name your brand in 3 easy steps. This video is actually going to be part of my online series, part of do-it-yourself branding for entrepreneurs. It will be expanding upon giving you even more information. Once that is available, I will drop that link down below into the description for you to be able to go and check out this online course. Until then, get out there, learn some shit, and let's build your brands together.